Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Bankrupt Pensioner and my name is Richard. Now I keep on getting a few messages of why I've named the channel Bankrupt Pensioner, and I'm going to explain that right now. So I'll come straight to the point. My aspiration financially is before death that I want to make myself very near. I don't want to make myself bankrupt, but I want myself very near to bankruptcy. In effect, I don't want to be paying inheritance tax upon my death. Now, just to make things very clear, inheritance tax in the UK is anything over £325,000. Now, let's assume the average home in the UK is £288,000, which I've just checked. That's the value of an average home. Let's say you've paid off your mortgage, you've got your BMW, you've got a couple of cars, maybe a couple of motorbikes, and that goes, and the total value of your estate, including your death benefit and from your insurance, goes over 325,000. Then anything above and beyond 325,000 will be taxed at 40% by the Inland Revenue, assuming that you do not have a spouse, you do not have a wife or a husband. If you have a live-in partner, then you will have to go through some checks to confirm that that live-in partner truly is a live-in partner and not just someone that you reside with. You've got to prove to the government that you are a loving couple, should we say. And I guess that's not particularly easy, because they will want the 40% off you. So the idea of Bankrupt Pensioner is to make it very clear from an ownership perspective that at my later years I will virtually own nothing. So when I do die, that the Inland Revenue and going through probate and all that good stuff, the tax element of my worth will be virtually nothing, and subsequently will hold no taxable interest to the Inland Revenue. So let's think about this in a bit more detail. If you've got this far. So I'm still wondering whether the channel should be called Bankrupt Pensioner. I suspect a lot of people, a lot of viewers on YouTube look at the name of Bankrupt Pensioner and think, move on, yeah, to the next channel. So currently in the throes of whether to rename the channel again. It used to be my full name, then it went to Bankrupt Pensioner, and now I'm thinking of something a bit more appropriate as I stabilise into my videos on YouTube. And now I know what I'm doing to a greater or lesser degree and all that, I may rename the channel once again. But this is still important. The concept that, you know, you earn your money through your life, and then when you die you still pay tax, is a bit of a concern from my perspective. It really is a concern with such a low threshold of £325,000. Now you may be thinking, well, I can give that to my children. Yes, so let's imagine you're living by yourself, you've got more than 325,000 in your worth. Let's say you're worth 500,000 upon death, and you want to give that to your children. No. If you're giving the money to your children, it will be taxable above 325,000. So the whole estate of 500,000, let's say, then 500,000 minus 325 is 175,000. 175,000, 40% of that will be removed and given to the Inland Revenue. And then the remaining money will be given to your children. Yeah. So assigning it to your children in your will is absolutely fine. But if it's over 325,000, You will pay inheritance tax. The estate pays the inheritance tax, and the remainder is then split to the children, however you have see fit to split it, to one or more children. So just bear that in mind. I appreciate that most of my viewers are of the age of 40, 55 and above, and this really does relate to you. So make sure that you're not giving money away to the Inland Revenue after you've paid all your hard-earned tax before you die. Yes? So let's talk about tax if you've got this far. If you've got this far, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff. If I change the name of the channel, you'll be notified of the name of the channel and your subscription will stay. Okay, so don't worry about that. So, where were we going? Tax. When we pay tax, when I earn £1, I pay tax 3 times. 3 times. I pay it as income tax, and tax is important. Let's get this right. I don't want to avoid paying tax. I want to pay tax because it pays for education, it pays for healthcare, it pays for social services, yeah, social security. Yeah, they're the main 3 things. It also pays for the military, and it also pays for all that kind of crap. But generally speaking, it pays for the 3 things: education, healthcare, and social benefits. Right, for when you're unemployed or if you're off sick and all that good stuff. Now, they are important. They do need to be funded. And relatively speaking, in the UK, me having lived in a few places around the world, and I know the NHS gets a bad call, the NHS provides a very, very, very good service compared to most other countries. So when you're there saying that the NHS is not great and it's all bad and everything's wrong, that isn't the case. It is not the case. You really need to understand that the NHS give you a wonderful service. Yeah. So anyway, going back to tax. So I earn £1, I pay 40% on my pound, or I pay 20%. I pay 40%. That brings it down to 60 pence. When I buy something with my 60 pence, I pay 20% VAT. So 20% VAT of that is 60 pence. That's 12 pence. Yeah. So now I've paid 40 pence tax plus 12 pence. So that's 52 pence tax. The remaining amount that I've paid for whatever I bought with my money, the 60 pence, the person that sells me whatever product it is, be a Mars bar or whatever, pays tax on that money for the 3rd time. Because they are paying tax on the money that I give them as profit. So the tax system in the UK is absolutely phenomenally expensive. And so I get my Mars bar and I eat my Mars bar. So the person that sold me the Mars bar for whatever pence it was, 60 pence, pays the VAT to the government, and then which is the 12 pence, and the remaining amount, 12 pence off 60 is 48 pence. They take a further 20% at least of that 48 pence to the government again for revenue on profits. And that's why it's very expensive to live in the UK. And that's why, from a tax perspective, we get an excellent service on education, the NHS, and social care, social benefits. Yeah. So don't forget that. We really do get a really good service. So going back to the name Bankrupt Pensioner, it is in my interest to ensure that I haven't got any money at all by the time I die. So I will offset the property, offset the cars, offset the motorbikes to the kids when I know that I've got 6 months to live, because I've been told I've got heart disease or maybe cancer or something like that. Generally speaking, on a 90% chance, you will find out that you've got 6 months to live nowadays. It's not a case where you suddenly die. It's unusual that now. I hope that gives you a flavour of why I called the channel Bankrupt Pensioner. And because it's called Bankrupt Pensioner, it may discourage YouTube viewers from looking at that channel because it's called Bankrupt Pensioner. So I may well be changing the name of the channel over the next few weeks. Currently, I'm sat in Tenerife, in Las Cristianas. The weather's beautiful. It's October 2023. I've been doing a bit of playing around with a company called Tenerife on Triumph, and playing on a T120 Triumph in the hills of Mount Tidy or Tidy, and going around Masca, and it's been absolutely wonderful. There are other videos on the channel that will be coming up shortly on that, or are already available. So, did you find this useful? Comment below. Did you know that the threshold was 325,000? Yeah, which isn't a lot. That's not a lot when you think of how much you're worth when you're dead. Wow, everybody's leaving. There you go. They've either come or are they going? I'm wondering if they're coming or going. No, they look like they've just come. They've got no suntans on, some of them. So, but the weather's absolutely fantastic here. So I've been playing around with Tenerife on Triumph, on a Triumph T120, riding in the mountains. It's been absolutely fantastic. The prices are great. You can tour with Adam, who owns the business. He offers a great service. Gives you the helmets, the jackets, the gloves, the riding glasses, etc., etc. All you need to do is bring a pair of jeans and some reasonable boots for riding. You do need to be over the age of 28. You do need a full motorcycle license, be it in the UK or across Europe or across America. When you hire out the bike or go on the tours, you're fully insured. Everything's fine. And he's a great guy. And his missus and the bar at his place is wonderful. You always get beer at the end of the tours. He's a wonderful guy. Get in touch with him. His name's Adam. All one word, tenerifeontriumph.com. Get in touch with him. Say Richard Bamforth recommended you. And I will be visiting Adam in the very near future, hopefully. Oh, got an itch. If you found this useful, leave a comment. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate this very much, and look forward to seeing you in the very near future. See you soon. Bye-bye.